Hey guys, so today what we're going to do are these really cute key fobs. The design is from Parker on the Porch. So what we're going to make one, you see me do this bag in the last video. We need a key fob to match this bag. So we're going to make these really cute key fobs. The design again is from Parker on the Porch. There will be a link in the description below. So let's get started. Okay, so the supplies for this key fob is you need 2 pieces of vinyl and a piece of fabric because we're going to do applique, so we're going to applique our piece of fabric on there. I've cut my piece of fabric a little larger than I actually need because I want to make sure that I can get a mermaid in the vinyl. So I went ahead and I run the placement line straight on my 6x10 hoop. If you have software, I know you noticed that there's an awfully big waist. So if you have software, you can go in and you can line up 5. I believe you can get 5 of these in one hooping of 6x10. So that's good, but just for this video, we're going to do just one. So what you need is you need a piece of leather, vinyl, whatever, that's big enough to cover these placement lines for the front and for the back. And then you need a piece of fabric for the applique piece. Again, we're making one to match this really cute bag that is from off with their threads, and it's the one that I did previously in the previous video. So let's make the key fob to match. Alright, here we are at the machine, and like I said earlier, I went ahead and run the placement lines right on the tearaway stabilizer. So we are on step 2 because step 1 was to put the placement lines on the stabilizer. So step 2 is going to give us the outline for our applique piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our leather is kind of centered in here. You want to make sure it's straight. If you're using striped fabric or leather or whatever, you want to make sure it is straight all the way down, making sure you cover up all the placement lines. Okay? Alright, there it is. It did the placement lines for our applique piece in the middle. So now we're on step number 3, and what you're going to do is you're going to lay your piece of fabric down. Again, mine's bigger than you need because I want to get my mermaid in there, at least mermaid faces or something. I'm going to try to get something in there, a couple of fishies, something. I'm going to line that up how I want it in between these 2 lines here, and then run step number 3. Alright guys, now we've done step number 3. I want to show you because my mermaids were so big I couldn't get all the mermaids in this. So when you make these, you might want to choose something that has a smaller, maybe closer together print. But these little fishies right here are really cute. I got the little crown, and I got her face and some of her body, so I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our applique scissors and only this piece of fabric right here, and we're going to trim as close as we can get to this line without trimming the lines. Alright guys, so that's what it should look like. I didn't trim this edge, and I didn't trim the edge at the end, but along the 2 sides I took my applique scissors and I trimmed them just as close as I could get without cutting the threads. Okay, so that's what mine's going to look like. So now over here, step number 4 is going to do the satin stitch. Alright guys, so we got stitch number 4 done, and it did the pretty satin stitches right here. So what I did now is I flipped my hoop over, I laid my other piece of vinyl on the back, making sure I covered up all the placement lines, and I taped it down. So we're going to put this back in the hoop, and we're going to run step number 5, the very last sewing step. Give it a little peek, make sure everything's laying like it's supposed to. It is. Step number 5. Alright guys, that's step number 5. Alright, so what I did was I freed it from the hoop. Now we're going to pull off all the stabilizer and get it trimmed down. Alright, so we're going to pull the stabilizer off. Alright, so now we need to trim this down to where it fits in our hardware. Okay, so this is the front of our hardware, and this is the back that has the triangles on it. My piece is 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to cut this piece 1 1/4 inches. So I need to go 1/8 of an inch from both sides of this line. It's easier if you get your piece a little bigger and trim just a little bit off than it is to have to really worry about getting it lined up just perfect. Okay, and I'm really only cutting this little tiny bits off of it. Okay, so there's, I think I need to cut just a little bit more off of this side. Just kind of make sure everything's good and centered, and that'll work perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to get some of these lobster clasps. No, I'm sorry, some of these Wonder Clips. And I'm going to line up these lines that it sewed right there. Almost perfect. Okay, I'm going to line it up best I can and clip it down the side of the back of the key fob so that it holds it in place like you want it. Okay, then take your pliers. You can get these off of Amazon. They're called key fob setters, I believe. You want to line it up in there, and it'll stay pretty right on. Choose which side you want, the front, the back, and I want this to be my front, so the front of my hardware goes to the front of my my key fob. I'm going to put it in here. See how everything's going to line up. It's going to line up pretty good. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. There we go. So that when I put it in here, I can adjust it to stay where it needs to stay. That little piece of fabric is catching. There we go. So I can push it in there. Make sure it's good and straight. Like that. And then take your pliers and really push down on it. Like that. Okay. Make sure it's good and tight on both sides. Like that. And there's your pretty key fob. These are really cute. Again, this design is from Parker on the Porch, and I will link it in the description below. Let's put it on our bag and see how cute it is on our bag. That is adorable. Really cute. Really, really, really cute. There you go. You can see it good now. Really cute. Okay, so this is from Parker on the Porch. It is the Applique Key Fob. I will put a we'll put a link in the description below. While you're down there, please give me a big thumbs up. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and I hope you have a great day.